Hello, Hillsborough. It's Hillary. I cannot believe we're already talking about back to school, but I can't think of anyone better than our friend Chelly. She's with Hillsborough County Library Cooperative to help us get prepared for back to school. She's kind of like a library superhero. The things that she shares of how the library and the library's website and the librarians can help you, you're just going to learn so much. Having kids myself, I do feel intimidated sometimes by the library resources, but we're going to break it all down in this episode. So stay tuned.
Hello, Hillsborough.
Hi, Hillary.
Hi, Tyler.
Welcome back.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
How was your summer vacation?
My summer vacation was a staycation, first of all.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I wasn't as excited for a summer of really no travel, but after staying at home and just doing local activities, I do feel very refreshed.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good to just give yourself a break.
It is. I got a lot done at the house, but now we got to focus, right?
Yeah.
It's time to get back to the schedule, the routine, and it's school time.
Today kind of feels like our first day of school.
It's all new. It's so exciting. And we're so thrilled for our guest, Chelly. She will share with us how libraries will help prepare you for back to school and throughout the whole school year.
Well, let's not waste any more time and let's talk to Chelly.
Hello, Hillsborough.
So we're here with Chelly. She is a librarian with Hillsborough County Public Library Cooperative. And we're so excited for you to be here
Yeah,
because
thanks
we're
for being
talking
here.
back to school. Used to be a really exciting topic before I had kids. And now that I have kids, it's stressful for me.
Wait a minute. It was exciting?
Yes, I was one of the weird ones that did get excited to go back to school.
I was so excited to shop for school supplies.
Same.
Pencils, pens. It's the organizing of it. I'm a librarian through and through. It's about organizing, putting it all in its place, getting ready, feeling prepared.
And then I would put like a 25-pound backpack on my shoulders and be like, I'm ready. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Well, the other part of back to school, though, is sort of the lead up to it and how stressful it can be to prepare not only for back to school supplies, but getting your kid mentally and emotionally ready for it. And there's this whole thing with the summer and making sure that they keep the knowledge from the past year. But the library has tons of resources to help you prepare them, like prepare them for we're going to get back to the classroom, the homework, all of that.
Well, I think that you said something really great there, right? And that there's so much anxiety surrounded around it, because I think that we forget that going back to school is not just about what your kids know. It's about how your kids feel about leaving home. It's about how they feel about being around new people, new teachers, new students, new environments, whatever their situation may be. And, I think that we could sit here and talk about all the great resources at the library and how they prepare kids for back to school. But maybe something that people haven't thought about is go to the library and check out a book about back to school and read it with your kid and, engage with them in that sense that they have the opportunity to look at those pictures and say, okay, I understand how that dinosaur feels. That dinosaur is nervous. Like, do you feel nervous to go back to school? And the conversations that can spark from that in and of itself is a very important learning experience. But there's literally a book for every subject.
There is. We don't even think about that, really. Like, there is a book for, and a librarian will help you find it. Yes. Even if you just give them like one word, they'll be like, I'll find it.
Well, and talk about that. That is the best resource that we have in Hillsborough County Public Libraries. And that is our staff. We have amazing staff at all 26 of our locations. They like interacting with the public. They want to help you find a book that you love. They want your kid to get excited about something. They want you to feel excited about coming in there. They want you to come back. They want you to feel like this is something in your neighborhood, that you feel comfortable in the building and that that there's always somebody there that can help you.
Can you talk about some of the newer features that people might not be aware of? What's been added to the libraries?
Sure. So if you want to do a podcast, we have the equipment at the library for you to be able to do that.
Now she tells us.
Just don't call it Hello Hillsborough. Thank you.
But there is so much great equipment inside of those recording studios that people could come in and utilize for different things. Like in one of our recording studios, we have a high-powered scanner. So you could book time in there and scan your photos. If you're like me, you have tons and tons and tons of printed photos that are not digitized. You can come in and use our equipment for that. You could come in there and use the green screen to take a family photo.
Wow.
That's a good idea. I
Yeah.
could pretend like I went to Paris, but I
Yes.
didn't really go.
100%. Okay. If you're like me, you're going to be pretending to be going all sorts of
Japan.
places. Yeah. Japan, Paris, Greece.
If we're
Right.
pretending, why not the moon or something?
I
you know?
mean, why
honestly.
not?
Or a headshot.
Yes. Oh, such a good
Um,
point.
So there's a bevy of things for you to use at the library, and it's free.
I know.
It's free.
And a
I
lot
can't
of
say
times
that
you,
enough.
you don't also even need your library card, right? For some of the
Right.
things.
Yes. Our programs, you're welcome to attend. The only thing you need your library card for is to check something out, to physically take something home, or to access ebooks or downloadable movies or music. How fantastic is it that you can just pick up your device and access our resources from home and get your kid the materials that they need for that research, to put together that paper, to have the information for the diorama or whatever else it is that they have due the next day.
And I've heard a recurring theme about things just getting easier, but it's not just about being easy. It's that there's more than one way to learn something. And I think about myself growing up and how helpful it would have been to have Call of the Wild on an audiobook because, man, I'm getting lost or something like that, you know?
Well, I think you made a really good point about learning styles. And I think that we forget that we can mix resources together, right? Because for struggling readers, it is really helpful to have the printed text in front of you, but to also be hearing somebody read it to you at the
Sure.
same time, because it helps you to process the words on the page individually and for you to follow along. And you kind of don't, because if your kid can't pronounce or understand one of the words in the sentence, then that paragraph essentially can be lost to them, because the context of that paragraph can be lost through that one word. And for a struggling reader, you put something in front of them, like the first chapter book that they're ever going to have to read, and that can be really super intimidating.
Mhm.
And, there's nothing wrong with you checking out a book for your kid and checking out the audiobook, so that way somebody is reading it. Your child's still reading that book. They're still learning from that book, but it's helping them. And it's making it just a little bit easier for them to process it. So I think that that's a really great thing that you said. We literally have something for everybody. We really do. I can't tell you how many times I run into people at the store who are telling me, that they forget about using the library, but they're paying a ton of money for whatever subscriptions that they're paying towards for access to movies or music. And it's always an opportunity for me to just tell them, we do that for free at the library. You're a Hillsborough County resident. Just, I think it's just maybe explore and see if there's something that would fit you at our libraries.
What you see people at Publix a
Oh,
lot.
yeah.
They have questions for
Oh,
you
yeah.
all the
Once
time?
you're a librarian, then you are your family and friends and neighbors' personal librarian.
Oh, yes. They reach
And-
out for
oh,
tons of
100%.
research.
Yes. They will hit you up at 8:00 at night because their kids got something due tomorrow, and they, what's the quickest way that they can get a journal article, or, they'll stop you and ask you what you're reading and what they should be reading, and, all the things. And I love that part of it. I don't mind it at all. It's a nice thing to talk to people about besides, work or, what have you.
What are some good ways for families to start routines for going to the library as a family activity? Let's talk about a Monday night. Everyone gets home from work or school. We're going to go to the library for a little while. What does that night look like for a family of 4?
Well, for me, I first look at what classes are happening on the week or weekend that I would find interesting. And usually it's a toddler related class. But I also take my kids there and we go just to hang out in the kids area. And I can be I can be working or even honestly have a phone conversation quietly while they're drawing or playing with a puzzle or picking out a book.
Well, I think it's modeling the behavior.
Yes. That's
So
a good,
if you
love
have
that.
littles, then they have to do 30 minutes a night reading.
Yeah.
30 minutes a night reading.
And you can track it.
That's right. And so why not just do that 30 minutes a night together?
Yeah.
When my kid was little, the other way that I used to spin it is, do you want to go shop for books?
Oh,
And
that's
I would
I love
always
that.
call it shopping. And so she would have a bag and she could fill her bag and she could get whatever she wanted. And she thought that was so special, right? Because she doesn't get to do that in a regular store.
Yeah.
And so for her,
You told her not to do that in a regular store, right?
I don't know. She's 15 now. So, she
You're
probably
leaving-
does do that in a regular
You're leaving
store.
Target I
Yeah.
don't know how she got all
I
that
know,
stuff.
exactly.
But we put a lot of pressure on kids we tell our kids that they have to read this or they have to read a book and I think we forget that, there's magazines. If your kid is reading something,
Yeah, that's such a good
your
point.
kid is reading something.
Yep. Magazine, I don't know.
We're-
Newspaper, they're probably not going to read the newspaper, but just putting it out there that's also an option.
I mean, I used to flip through it as a kid.
Yeah.
You don't know what a newspaper looks like.
Exactly. Or like the back of a shampoo bottle, whatever you want to read. Just read.
Hey, desperate times.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All the parents out there know exactly what we're talking about.
No, I know. Exactly. I'm like, why are you in here? There's a shampoo bottle. Just play with it. Don't drink it. Just don't eat it.
30 minutes can be really nice to have some independent time. So
seriously,
it's just about modeling the behavior.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, well, you heard it here. All the resources that you can get from your local library for back to school. I mean, it's free. Why not give it a chance?
We're going to have a back to school guide on our website, hcplc.org, so that everybody can visit the website because it's pretty and we work hard on it. And it will have kind of like a summary of all of these quick things that your kids can use. And that's elementary, middle school, and high school.
Wow. No excuses.
Amazing. Yeah, no excuses. Thank you, Chelly.
Of course.
Hello, Hillsborough.
That was a great conversation.
So good. I love talking to her.
That might be the longest I've talked to a librarian without getting shushed. Now, I'm not saying that that's more of a thing about me than librarians.
Absolutely. Tyler, I get it. Every time I'm in the library, I'm telling my toddler, shh, library voice. I even do it wherever, like if we're in the grocery, I'm like, library voice.
We talk about all the new stuff that libraries have, and there's some things that just never change, and got to be quiet in the library.
Exactly.
Still.
That's probably going to be forever.
That's a golden rule.
But gosh, when she talked about all the resources at a library, you really see how much you can gain from either logging on to hcplc.org or going to your physical library location. You'll find new resources the more you use your local library. That's what I find is whenever I'm there, whether I'm perusing online or on one of the apps, I find a new resource that is really helpful.
Well, I'm really glad that Chelly came by to talk to us. And since our show is called Hello Hillsborough, we don't say goodbye here. But what we do say is thank you so much for joining us. And however you spend your day, we really appreciate you taking the time to listen. So remember to click that subscribe button so you never miss an episode.
And be sure to follow your favorite county on social media. We are at Hillsborough FL on all the platforms. And for more information on everything Hillsborough County, check out the all-new hcfl.gov. Thanks for joining us. I'm Hillary.
And I'm Tyler. Till next time.